I will send you to Jesus.
Okay, so if you haven't noticed, the Lakers recently lost in a triple overtime effort against the Sacramento Kings, losing. And this is their fourth overtime game in just 23 games, while they are still reasonably seeded because they're the last team with 10 wins in the Western Conference, losing to the third worst team in the Western Conference. Now, I'm not trying to make a track record of me hating on the Lakers, but this seems to be the extent of what the Lakers can do in the regular season, and it's really not that impressive when it's coming over to Westbrook shooting half over his three-point shots, 80 going scoreless from behind the arc. The guy's a brick when he moves over for his far-range shot, and I don't know where that came from after last season. Going 0 for 4 when I saw him in the first overtime from behind the arc, and getting in the scrap is that Devontae Graham hitting over a game winner. It seems like most of these guys doing the most impressive stuff is the young guys, and they're not even pushing Austin Reeves in there. And that was not the coach's decision. Get more youth on your team. Taylor and Horton Tucker only dropping 10. I don't know why DeAndre Jordan coming over with only 17 minutes to play. Avery Bradley doesn't seem to be doing shit. The best center on the team is Dwight Howard. I don't know what Melo does. Malik Monk seems to be there just for the athletic fast break plays, and they don't even let him handle over the ball in the last 5 seconds remaining. They played like shit. I don't care if LeBron dropped 30, AD dropped 23. Even though he had 4 blocks, he was great defensively. Westbrook and LeBron got a total of 10 turnovers. LeBron turned the ball over 7 times. He went 10 of 25. It's not as impressive as an average as you would think. AD went 0 for 5 from behind the arc. What? It's coming over from the starting 5, by the way. Even if they total a majority and only 2 of their bench scored double digits. 7 people on the floor for the Kings dropped double digits. Only 5. And they were partially crucial parts of the game. This is going to push now the Lakers 10 and 11. And there's games where they look dominant in the first half and then let the game roll by them. Or they let the game roll by them the entire time when we saw them face off against the Knicks and lose over in the final 5 minutes of the quarter when they thought they can push off and beat them. Sure, the Knicks also lost the same night against the Suns that are a more talented team, practically the same team with still revolving youth. And the Knicks are also a youthful team, but I came around and saw Julius Randle be completely worthless. 9 points against the Suns? Now, I know the Suns are now a better team, and they're defending Western Conference champions. And none of the rosters seem to not significantly change, but still. How Zolan is more of a thing, and how they push off to now let the guard defend the big man. Randall should have a breeze if they try to 1v1 him with Booker or Paul. And you're seeing Paul bully Nerlens Noel and Mitch Robinson. You're not seeing that when you see the Kings and the Lakers. What could have possibly been an easy victory. We came off a lucky bounce fade shot of Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield came around scrapping over a turnover. As soon as Tristan Thompson comes, LeBron tried to play like he's trying to get a normal scrimmage. Then you saw him lacklusterly giving a bad inbound off a shitty bounce pass where he caused a turnover and score. LeBron, does he know how this works? Now, I understand it's just one game. But if you guys haven't seen a lot of games, the Lakers really fall short against teams lower seeded than them. Honestly, though, I'm not even trying to, make over the Lakers. The Lakers really, this is not a prediction for the season. We are now over a month in. It's about to be December in just a week. And they're coming over, having business to lose to teams lower seeded than them. And they come over just winning a back-to-back against the Rockets. They couldn't even handle OKC twice. Blazers that are not playing good. Timberwolves that were not playing good. What? And then you guys try to praise over that there's still potential in the squad when they beat young teams like the Hornets, Spurs, and Grizzlies? Are you kidding me? And the Rockets? And they get smushed over by the Kings. Went over a 3-game losing streak until they fall off. And it came off a huge 20-point comeback later in the second half against the stupid fight they had against Detroit a few days ago. And then after coming back off a 20-point deficit, they beat the Pacers that don't really have much going for them when they have a passable record. That's their track record. LeBron falls short. Sure, Westbrook pushed over a triple-double, but why the hell does that care? They are a shitty basketball team. They cannot play basketball. This is possibly going to happen. Westbrook's still probably going to be on the team. DeAndre Jordan's possibly going to go. Don't know if they're going to push over to get JaVale McGee or a younger center. Like possibly Alex Len. Or a guy that LeBron used to play with, or a younger big guy. Possibly Evan Turner out of disparity right now. Or get back Tristan Thompson to be a Laker. And just pushing off that they just lack over rebounding help. They can't hustle. And if you haven't seen that over the last 5 games they played, then that's just a scary thought, or just a really overwhelming optimism you have for this team that is 10 of 11 coming over in November. They are mediocre. They are mediocre 2013 Lakers. And if you guys are not seeing that, it's scary how you guys think about basketball. Because it's either LeBron trying to push over to the paint, rushing over for the foul to close up the gap, then weirdly chucking over 3-point shots when the shot clock just started. Only giving up to the young guys when they need it. They don't know how any repetitive style to play. The Lakers have no identity. And they keep fucking changing their team every year. What part of this means they're a good constructed team that can beat the Warriors that are really good right now? The Jazz, the Mavericks, the Clippers. What part of this means they're in that conversation right now? Because the most we protest that the Lakers are in that conversation, they come around choking out a 20-point lead they had against the goddamn... I'm trying to look for a bad team, the Pelicans possibly. And just knowing that this is probably going to be a constant unless they figure out something. This is probably going to happen for the rest of the remainder of the year before we're closing over to the deadline and we're waiting for more goddamn trades, I guess, because certain teams need it, and especially the biggest talking point coming over from the bigger markets in the NBA. It's obvious that the Lakers need it the way they're always half-assing performances. So that's my opinion on it. I already made a Lakers fraud video. This is just glorifyingly just exposing more of the Lakers. Not because I hate it. I just hate when you overhype a team all because of the namesake, but there's no legitimacy on like their track record or their consistency or their age. Like, it's literally the elderly out there playing 5-on-5 pro basketball, and we're getting excited over a Westbrook triple-double when they went the distance against a team that shouldn't even be in the same conversation as them. That's terrible. Sure, it was exciting to see a triple overtime game, but still. Really garbage. Especially with LeBron's half-pint, 40-year-old still wearing a do-rag with a balding spot everywhere. Looking ass. with Melo that can't ever think of a good spot to shoot, Westbrook that chucks over like he's playing a random 5v5, and Anthony Davis that is always half and half when playing basketball or showing out when he needs to be. Because he'll appear on the paint. Sometimes he'll be there defensively. Whenever it comes to needing him when it counts, it's really questionable. Or sometimes he shows up a brick. Either way, I don't want that Anthony Davis I just saw for the last few nights. That's all I'm asking for. So, that's it coming from this video. Hopefully, I enlightened you guys how much of the bullshit the Lakers have been in over the last couple games, or the entire season of so far, or you're possibly just going to type over to the comments that I don't know basketball. And I'm okay with both, because either way, I'm getting my message across, and that's technically what this channel's for anyway. Other than that, that's it for me.